Imagine a world shrouded in perpetual twilight. Towering trees drip with an eerie luminescence. This isn't a fairy tale forest, it's a nightmare garden. Here, the plants hunt. They lie in wait, their vibrant colors a deadly lure. They are modified into cruel traps, glistening with digestive juices. The ground is littered with the skeletal remains of insects and small animals. Every shadow seems to hold a hidden danger. This is the realm of the giant carnivorous plant. Carnivorous plants are fascinating examples of evolutionary adaptation. They thrive in nutrient-poor environments, supplementing their diet with insects. These plants have evolved ingenious methods for trapping and digesting their prey. Each type has a unique trapping mechanism. Pitcher plants lure insects into enzyme-filled pools. Sundews ensnare victims with sticky tentacles. Venus flytraps snap shut with lightning speed. They actively attract prey with scents, colors, and nectar. Once caught, the plant secretes enzymes to absorb nutrients. The idea of a carnivorous plant large enough to trap a human seems like pure science fiction. However, exploring this possibility reveals intriguing insights into the constraints and possibilities of evolution. Could such a plant realistically exist? The primary challenge lies in the sheer size and strength required to subdue a human. Current carnivorous plants are adapted to catching insects and small animals. Scaling up their traps to human size would require a significant leap in structural integrity and trapping force. Another hurdle is the availability of suitable prey. If a plant were to evolve to specialize in capturing humans, it would need a reliable source of these large meals. In a world where humans are relatively scarce compared to insects, such a specialization could be evolutionarily disadvantageous. However, evolution is a process driven by environmental pressures and opportunity. In a hypothetical world where humans are abundant and other food sources scarce, the selective pressure for larger, more powerful carnivorous plants could conceivably exist. The mechanics of carnivorous plant traps are a marvel of natural engineering. Each type of trap employs a different strategy, optimized for its specific prey and environment. Understanding these mechanisms is key to imagining how they might function on a larger scale. Pitcher plants, for instance, rely on a combination of slippery surfaces, intoxicating nectar, and digestive enzymes. Their pitcher-shaped leaves are filled with a liquid that drowns and dissolves unsuspecting insects. A larger version could conceivably use a similar strategy to trap larger prey. Sundews use sticky tentacles to ensnare their victims. These tentacles are covered in glands that secrete a sticky mucilage, trapping insects and slowly digesting them. A giant sundew might have thicker, stronger tentacles, capable of holding larger prey. Venus flytraps, with their rapid snapping action, are perhaps the most dramatic example. Their traps are lined with sensitive trigger hairs that, when touched, initiate a rapid closure, trapping the prey inside. A scaled-up version would require a significantly more powerful closing mechanism. Section 5. Digesting doom. Could a carnivorous plant actually consume a human? The digestive capabilities of carnivorous plants are impressive, but they are primarily designed for breaking down insects and small animals. Could these plants, even if scaled up, effectively digest a human? Current carnivorous plants rely on enzymes to break down the proteins and other nutrients in their prey. These enzymes are specialized for the types of prey they typically capture. Digesting a human with its complex tissues and bones would present a far greater challenge. The sheer volume of a human body would also pose a problem. Even a large carnivorous plant would likely struggle to contain and process such a large meal. The process of digestion could take a considerable amount of time, potentially leaving the plant vulnerable to scavengers or decay. However, evolution is capable of remarkable adaptations. If a plant were to evolve to specialize in consuming humans, it might develop new enzymes and digestive processes capable of handling this challenging food source. Section 6. Fighting back the green. Could you escape a giant plant's clutches? The prospect of being trapped by a giant carnivorous plant is terrifying, but not necessarily hopeless. Survival would depend on the type of trap, the plant's size and strength, and the victim's resourcefulness. If trapped by a giant pitcher plant, escape might involve climbing the slippery walls or using tools to create handholds. The key would be to avoid being submerged in the digestive fluids and to find a way to breach the pitcher's rim. A giant sundew's sticky tentacles would present a different challenge. The victim would need to struggle free before becoming completely entangled. Using a sharp object to cut through the tentacles or a solvent to dissolve the sticky mucilage might be effective strategies. Escaping a giant Venus flytrap would require quick action. Wedging an object between the trap's lobes could prevent it from closing completely, allowing for escape. Alternatively, applying pressure to the sensitive trigger hairs might cause the trap to reopen. Section 7. The real-world perils of carnivorous plants. While giant human-eating plants are confined to the realm of fiction, real-world carnivorous plants do pose a threat to certain creatures. Insects, spiders, and even small amphibians and reptiles can fall prey to these fascinating predators. Pitcher plants, with their deceptive nectar and slippery surfaces, are particularly effective at trapping insects. The digestive fluids at the bottom of the pitcher quickly drown and dissolve the unfortunate victims. Sundews, with their sticky tentacles, are equally adept at capturing insects. The tentacles curl inward, further ensnaring the prey and allowing the plant to absorb its nutrients. Venus flytraps, with their rapid snapping action, are perhaps the most visually striking carnivorous plants. Their traps can close in a fraction of a second, capturing insects before they can escape. Section 8. A Verdant Future of Terror. The evolutionary possibilities of carnivorous plants. The future evolution of carnivorous plants is a subject of speculation and fascination. While the development of giant human-eating plants seems unlikely, other evolutionary pathways are possible. One possibility is the evolution of more sophisticated trapping mechanisms. Plants might develop new ways to attract, capture, and digest prey, potentially expanding their diet to include larger animals. Another possibility is the development of symbiotic relationships with other organisms. Carnivorous plants might partner with insects or other creatures to enhance their hunting abilities or to gain access to new food sources. Furthermore, environmental changes could drive the evolution of carnivorous plants in new directions. Changes in climate, nutrient availability, or the presence of new predators or prey could all influence the evolution of these fascinating plants. The evolutionary trajectory of carnivorous plants is ultimately unpredictable. However, their current adaptations and the vast potential for further evolution make them a fascinating subject of study. Section 9. From page to screen carnivorous plants in popular culture. Carnivorous plants have long captured the imagination of writers, filmmakers, and game developers. Their menacing presence adds a touch of otherworldly terror to countless stories and virtual worlds. From the monstrous Audrey II and Little Shop of Horrors to the man-eating plants of the Day of the Triffids, giant carnivorous plants have become a staple of science fiction and horror. These depictions often exaggerate the size and capabilities of real-world carnivorous plants, creating truly terrifying creatures. In video games, carnivorous plants frequently appear as environmental hazards or even as enemies. Their snapping jaws and entangling vines provide a challenging obstacle for players to overcome. The portrayal of carnivorous plants in popular culture reflects our fascination with these unusual organisms. Their alien appearance and predatory nature tap into our primal fears, making them compelling characters in our stories and games. Section 10. The Future of Fear. Assessing the threat of giant carnivorous plants. While the idea of giant carnivorous plants is intriguing, the actual threat they pose to humans is minimal. The evolutionary hurdles to developing such large and powerful plants are significant, and the ecological conditions required for their survival are unlikely to exist. However, the concept of giant carnivorous plants serves as a powerful reminder of the incredible diversity and adaptability of life on Earth. It also underscores the importance of understanding and protecting the delicate balance of our ecosystems. The real danger posed by carnivorous plants lies not in their potential to evolve into giant man-eaters, but in the threat of habitat loss and other human-induced environmental changes. These plants play important roles in their ecosystems, and their extinction would have cascading effects. By studying and appreciating these fascinating organisms, we can gain a deeper understanding of the natural world and the importance of conservation. Section 11. Conclusion. Fact versus fiction, separating reality from the killer garden. The journey through the hypothetical killer garden has brought us face to face with the fascinating world of carnivorous plants. While giant human-eating plants are fiction, real carnivorous plants are no less intriguing. Their trapping mechanisms and digestive processes are a testament to evolution. They thrive in nutrient-poor environments by supplementing their diet with insects. Their presence in popular culture reflects our fascination with these unusual organisms. The lesson from the Killer Garden is to appreciate and protect Earth's incredible diversity.